Right, it's nearly winter time now, but we had the summer floods here and I didn't have a camera, so as we got high water again, I thought I'd come and show you it. Right, you can see you need some good waders to get on your boat if you have a boat here now. Boat's safe because the pontoon comes up. But one interesting thing, I don't know if you can just see it, you can up there. And look, the river's quite high. Just talked to my friends in the bungalow in those trees there, and they're busy filling sandbags. You know, it's come slightly higher than this, but it doesn't come much higher, obviously. And it could come up another foot or so. But an interesting thing with these, and you can't see on that post because there's some weed around it, but when they first put these moorings in, which was probably about 13 years ago, I'm thinking, probably a bit, no, not 13, what am I talking about? 87, I think it was, 86, 87, because my friend went to the bungalow where I've just visited, who is now sold. And if you look there, if I can zoom in and hold it steady, you can see a join, and you see where the pontoon is, and they had to weld some more bits on because all these pontoons, they weren't high enough, and they came off and floated down the river. And he was here when it floated past. Well, we're almost at the lock now, where I used to moor, and I was just thinking, I was 60 in the big flood in the summertime when I came down with Martin. I've got some photographs, I'll try and include them in the video, but just to show you here, look, there's the height of the water. Now if I keep the camera steady with the horizon, which is level obviously, see how low the land is alongside. So keep about the same amount of sky, look, and you can see how low it is. These trees, these willow trees growing out the banks at the top of them. So that's how high it is compared, if I keep the camera steady, you can see the water level. As you can see, it can't come up much higher, but further down, after the floods 4.5 years ago, just down there, it was lower than that, and it came within 9 inches of that. So it's nearly as high as it was. And what they do, they open the sluices over here. I'll try and get you a shot of that. And they open the sluices over here, and these ones, and that used to, the farmer, and it's a con of course, the farmer used to get that, and the lease was up and they wouldn't pay in the money. But that is all that water there, the other side of the river, is the extra flood defences. So they open the sluices, and that's one of the areas for emergency flooding, to prevent flooding. And this is the old Witham. If you look at my videos of Southbury to Short Ferry, this is where it goes, around there, you see. And you've seen the video of the lock, you can see the video of how a lock works, so you can see how far over the gates they are. But they've, as I say, it's about as high as it gets, obviously, can't get much higher. And any cars here get flooded, of course, because the road, that's we're over the road, that's it, just there, that's the road, you see, and that's where you park. So you can't get, that's why I've walked along the bike track. Right, so, but I thought it would be interesting because last time I didn't take a video. I don't think I've got this camera actually, but I've got still pictures. So as I said, we'll have a look and see what we can, if we can do anything. But it started flowing, I remember, walking back through here, and I thought it's a good job that I got back before, because when the tide goes out, when the tide's in, sorry, they can't let water out because it's higher than the river. And so they can only let water out for a certain amount of time, you see. And at the moment, I know that it's still not high tide, they're still letting water out. And if you look, it's flowing through there quite fast. And if I'd waited a bit long to get back, it actually nearly took me off my feet, the floated. So, you know, it's quite dangerous. And you can't tell where the path stops, you know, so it's quite a quite dangerous. But no, we'll have a look the other side, but it certainly isn't as deep as it was. It was over the top of the lock gate. I know it was. So it's been slightly deeper than this, and it probably will be. It'll probably be a little bit deeper. Yeah, it won't be much deeper, but if you look at the end of the lock arms, it was up to there. It was over them before, and it's not today, so got a few inches to go yet. Well, as you can see, you can't walk on the path, but they are above the moorings. This is the problem. When the water goes down, they're above the moorings. So we need some deep Wellingtons, but it's not actually as bad as it was. And there's all the boats, look. And that was where Storm was. It was the second one in, I'm sure it was. So I'll show you the pictures. My mate did well at that boat. He bought it for just less than 1,000, sold it for 7. He did a lot of work on it, but he didn't spend much money. A year later advertised it and sold it, but we've got a picture of that. Because what happens is, when the water comes up, it can, there's a railway line on the side of the quay, and it can do it, but that's where it was anyway. If you've got any sense, what you do, you tie it like that, look. You tie it to the back, you see, because there's rings that slide up and down, so it should be fairly safe. And the trick is to tie them together, like they have done. It's tied as a cross, you see that one. If you can just see it there. See that rope there? It's tied there so it won't drift onto the mooring, onto the finger. And that one there is the little boat that arrived. He just bought it, and its first trip down here, and I helped moor it up, and it's safe. Look, I told him what to do if the water comes up. And as I say, all that can happen is, you can see there's the walkway. Look, I can show you here. Right, there's your finger mooring in between those posts. Right, we've all seen them. So all that happens is that when the water goes down, the boats can catch on the jetty and tip, but they normally come off all right. And as I say, this is the water railway. It's a footpath from Lincoln to Boston. And I was actually here when they were doing this. I was moored here, so we knew the people, and they came on the boat and had a cup of tea. It was all good stuff. All good stuff. And by the way, this side here, just through the trees, if you can see this river here, I could go on the bridge and show you, but I can't now. That is actually Sincil Drain. It's a different one. And at usual normal water levels, this level is 6 foot lower than the Witham. And that's the Witham, what the boats are on. And the lock, which you saw a moment ago, it drops 6 foot. So the old Witham and Sincil Drain, and the Witham to Boston, which is 22 miles, is 6 foot lower than this at normal water levels. And at the moment it's level, so that shows you how much water there is in. Here's some of the ornaments on the water railway. If you look at my boating pictures, all my pictures for the last few years, you can see there's lots of these things. The bridge from nowhere, and there's loads of them. There is, and they've done a new one there, look, penny farthing, see. So it's vandal proof, I suppose, and you got a seat and bring your picnic. But the thing I'm showing you here, found the perfect place. Look, now you can see the difference in the river and the land. That will tell you how much drop there is from the river to the land. So an eighth of Lincolnshire is lower than sea level, and at the moment this river is as high as high tide.